Hello, this is Kirsten Bullock again of the Nonprofit Academy. Today we'll be talking about some essential things to know before you start engaging people in the work you do. These center around knowing what you'll be asking people to be a part of, having systems in place to support that involvement, and, most importantly, knowing what your prospect is interested in so that you can direct them to the right opportunity that they'll appreciate being part of. But before we get into that, let's review the fundraising funnel again really quickly. The first step is to help people become aware of who you are and the work that you do. And remember, that can take many forms: personal conversations, giving talks to different groups, advertising, sending direct mail, and many, many others. The second stage that we'll be talking about more today is to engage people in the work you do. This can be by contributing, volunteering, or simply learning more about your organization through a newsletter or regular email you send out. The final stage is asking. We always need to make sure that we're communicating the need for funds very clearly. To be able to start engaging people in the work we do, it's important to be able to identify some areas that volunteers and people can help with. It could be as support during events, or to help with thank you calls to donors, becoming a donor, subscribing to your email newsletter, or becoming involved in program areas. There's many different ways. Just remember though, not everyone is going to be interested in the same things, so it's important to be able to offer some variety and some different ways for people to be involved. Be creative. Next is to have some systems in place to support volunteers once they become involved. How will you continue to keep them involved? Do you have a volunteer coordinator? How often will you stay in touch with them? How will you track their interests? If you only have 200 people you're trying to stay connected with, you can probably do that in your head and by keeping a few notes. However, once that number increases to 500 or 5,000, you'll have a much more difficult time keeping track of the details. Systems that are kept up to date will make your life much easier and your volunteers and donors much happier. Most importantly, though, are the interests of your volunteers and potential donors. What do they want to be involved with? If they want to advocate for a particular cause and you ask them to file paperwork, will they be satisfied? On the other hand, if they're not interested in speaking in front of people, certainly don't ask them to do that. The better you know your donors and potential donors, the better you'll be able to provide satisfying experiences with them, and the more satisfying it is for them, the longer they will remain supporters of you and your organization. I hope that's helped you in thinking about some opportunities to invite people to become engaged with you and the work you do. While you're thinking about it right now, jot down 3 ideas that have come to mind and the next step you'll have to take to turn that idea into a reality. That's it for today. Stay tuned for more videos.